Oh, what is the upskis, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the GXGamerCast. We're on episode 119 of my gaming show, where once a week I just has to talk about video games, whether they're new video games that I'm playing today, old video games that I grew up with, it doesn't matter. Video games. And today we are going back in time, baby. Back through the portal, if you will, to 2007, where a little game came out of nowhere from Valve called Portal, and I still think about these games all the time, so much so that I went back and replayed these masterpieces, and I want to talk about them. But before we get into the Portal talk, let's talk about what I've been up to over the last week or so, as I always encourage you, the viewer, the listener. Let me know what you've been up to over the last whatever amount of time. What new movies are you checking out? Is there anything good out there right now? I know at this point when you're hearing this, it's well past, but Wolverine and Deadpool just dropped on Disney. I will be watching that probably tonight with my wife. I can't wait. That movie was huge with everybody that I work with, like 5 to 10 people, everyone was talking about that movie, so I finally get to watch it, and I can't wait. So let me know if you've seen that movie and how much you enjoyed it. I have one friend at work, he's seen it 4 times or something like that in theaters, and I was telling him about it. He's like, oh, I'm gonna rewatch that one again so we can talk about it. I'm like, damn, really like that movie. So yeah, I'm excited, and let me know if you watched any TV shows lately, and of course, what video games are you diving into right now? We are in video game season, baby. This is my favorite time of year to get comfy and warm up in the house, get in my nice comfy chair and bundle up and play some video games. So what games are y'all playing out there right now? And I'll let you know what I've been up to. So my wife and I checked out a new show. I don't know how new it is, but it's called Elizabeth. It's on Amazon, I do believe. She said it was a spin-off of another show that she watched. I don't know. It was recommended to her, so wife put it on, and I liked it. We only watched 2 episodes, but I was, surprisingly into it. It's kind of like Kimmy Schmid, but with a little bit more of a cop twist on it. So if you enjoyed Kimmy Schmid, it's kind of that uplifting, goofy, quirky, funny characters and stuff like that. It's an easy watch, and yeah, I'm not a big cop show person. But I am, though, at the same time, if that makes any sense. So I avoid the NCISs, the CSIs, those type of shows. I don't gel well with those. They're just too boring for me and too samey. But if you give me a funny cop show like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, sure, I can watch that. If you give me something that's based off of reality, like a true crime docuseries like the Menendez brothers, I'm all about it. But something about fucking, Criminal Minds and all those kind of shows, nah. And I swear, everyone that I've ever had a relationship with in my past, high school, anything, they always watched one of or many of these shows, and I never wanted to watch it with them. So there we go. But I'm liking this one so far. Elizabeth, the main character, she's pretty funny. I like how she's just nonstop. She's I guess she's a detective. She won't really reveal it all the way, but she is just constantly fucking detecting, always searching for something, always on to the next clue. And I like the way that she pins points who's the bad person before she has enough evidence, and then their interactions are always really good. I'm enjoying the show so far. It's a nice little side watch right there. And I did get in a movie this week. It was a little bit of a downer, not a horror movie. I went back to Studio Ghibli, but not a Hayao Miyazaki joint. This one, actually, I don't know the director, but it's a Studio Ghibli movie not made by Hayao Miyazaki, and that movie is Grave of the Fireflies. All right. So this one was brought to my attention by my sister, actually, last summer. She told me about this movie. I'd never heard about it, probably because it wasn't a Hayao Miyazaki movie, but I was like, oh, Studio Ghibli. Fucking love these guys. So I was very, very interested in this movie. The second my sister told me about it, I looked everywhere for it, couldn't find it anywhere, and it dropped on Netflix a few months ago. Not very long ago, it just dropped on Netflix. I was like, oh, baby, I'm going to watch that, and I did. And my goodness, what a sad, sad movie. Oh man, what a downer. It's based off, it's a movie about 2 kids that are living in and around World War II in Japan. So shit is bad right there. That's a bad time to be living in Japan, and these kids are just trying to survive, and obviously bad things happen to them. But in classic Studio Ghibli fashion, there are these really magical, lovely moments with the fireflies. So fireflies are also a metaphor for like bombs dropping when planes are going over and they're dropping bombs and stuff. That's all throughout the movie as well. So that's kind of like the metaphor for fireflies. People would like, that's just the visual of the bombs dropping, look like fireflies in the sky. But they also have like beautiful animation in this movie, as is expected with the Studio Ghibli. Just beautiful. The music is amazing. But wow, what a sad movie. I felt very bad after there's no happy ending with this one. It's like a classic, like almost old school Disney, man. Like Fox and the Hound, fucking Bambi, where they're teaching you life lessons. Like, yo, life isn't all beautiful. Life is ugly and scary and sometimes fucking terrible. And this movie displays that with a little hint of that Studio Ghibli, magic and everything. But this is a sad story, man. Very sad. I don't want to give it away what happens, but it's a story of two siblings, a brother and sister, just trying their best to survive in war times. And, things start out okay, and as the movie progresses, it gets worse, and bad things happen. It's a very sad film, but it was great. It was a great movie. I don't know how much I can recommend it because it's such a sad story. It's, I don't know, if you need like more of a reason to dislike war and more reasonings as why it's bad, check this movie out and it'll show you not only is like fighting and shooting each other bad, but there's tons of other things that happen, not just to the soldiers, but to the society, to the people living in these countries that are war-torn. Like, there is a massive trickle effect that happens that goes on for much, much longer than the wars go on for. And this movie kind of explores those areas. Very, very dark. Very, very dark. So take that in mind. I as a Studio Ghibli fan, I mean, it is a great flick. It is, I can't say it's one of my favorite just because it doesn't make me feel very good. Like, I didn't cry. Like, I would not, if you cry, I don't blame you. It is a sad movie. I'm just a very hardened, not great. I don't know where I'm going with that, but geez, this movie hit the sad notes for sure. I don't know if I can fucking drive that note home anymore. But also another thing that might draw people away. It is in pure Japanese, so you will have to have subtitles. Again, I had no problem with the subtitles. They seemed pretty good. Sometimes, this was not a problem with this movie, but sometimes the English translation doesn't sync up properly, but I didn't have any problems with that. Seemed good to me. So yeah, take that in mind. If you are going to check this one out, it's very sad. And, don't bring everybody over on a birthday party and let's have a great night and watch fucking Graveyard of the Fireflies or what, a Grave of the Fireflies. Like, oh yeah, everyone's going to go home depressed. So don't do that. And it's also a movie you're going to have to read. And it's not a lot of reading. It's not like a super intense story or anything. It's just, not everybody likes that. It's for a lot of people, it's a straight turnoff. But so there is that, but I liked it a lot. 8 out of 10, great movie. And of course, I'm still playing This War of Mine. I'm getting good. I'm good. I think I'm good at the game now. I think I get it. I'm on another scenario. I successfully survived through a scenario for the first time, and that was amazing. Now I'm on to another one, and I'm doing really, really good. I got lots of ammo. I got lots of goodies. I got some food. No one's depressed, and man, I can't put the game down. I'm probably at about 40 hours now on This War of Mine, and there's so many more scenarios to play. Oh man, I'm so happy with this game. I can't get enough of it. It's starting to make waves in the Xyz, man. It's crawling into my favorite game of the year conversation, and I just continue to play it. So I will recommend everyone check it out. I still saw that it's on sale on Switch. You can get it for $5, the complete edition. It is beyond recommended to take a chance on it, even if you don't think it's for you, for $5. Holy crap. It's available on your PlayStation Plus. You can play it on there if you have that. So take a shot on this game. It is spectacular. And I got into, obviously I played Portal and Portal 2. We will be talking about both Portal games. We're talking about the Portal franchise here, baby. So I finished those and I got the itch. and I started playing Mass Effect 2. Oh yeah, baby. I'm back there again. I played Mass Effect 1 again last year. Started a new character, all new story, and I'm continuing my story from that game. And oh, buddy, freaking Shaq Shepard is back, my female character. She is bad to the bone, just a mean bitch. And yeah, dude, I am still to this day experiencing new stories in Mass Effect, because this time around, I killed people that I've never killed before. I brought along people that I've never brought along before. So I'm having a new experience still with Mass Effect, like over almost 15 years later. I still get new stuff out of Mass Effect. One of my favorite games of all time, and I cannot wait to do an episode on Mass Effect 2. It will be incoming once I'm done with it, so be on the lookout for that one. And that, I think, is everything I've been up to, so let's do it, baby. Let's go back in time to 2007 this game came out. Let's talk about Portal. Wow, friggin' Portal, y'all. I can't believe this game is over 15 years old now, and just recently playing it, I still had an absolute blast. The puzzles are still, I was still like, I had to think about it a little bit. Even I played Portal, I would say at this time, four to six times. It is a very short game. It takes maybe an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours on your first try, because it might take you a second to figure out the mechanics and stuff of Portal, but it's a super easy, very replayable game. And then once we get to Portal 2, I haven't replayed Portal 2 since it came out, so that was a special little thing right there. And we'll talk about Portal 2, but first, we gotta talk about Portal 1, and this game was just kind of a toss-in for the Orange Box. And the Orange Box in that of itself was this absolutely amazing compilation of video games, Valve video games. You had the Orange Box had Portal, it had the Half-Life episodes 1, 2, or episode 2, part 2, whatever the heck. It had 3 of the Half-Life games, and it had Team Fortress. And this was the only game that I had. This is the only game that I got with my PlayStation 3. I bought my PlayStation 3 off of a friend, and he sold it to me for a fairly decent price. I think I bought it for $400 or something. And that's when, PlayStation 3 was very expensive when it first came out. I believe it was around $800 brand new in Canada at the time. So I jumped on that opportunity, even though there was not very many games. And I didn't know anything about Valve. I did not play the Half-Life games. I still haven't played the Half-Life games. I've tried them. They just weren't really for me. They didn't pull me in. Now, that might be because I only played or tried the very first... No, I've tried both of the episodes, but I don't know. It just didn't do it for me. So, and then Team Fortress, I don't even know if I've tried that one really, honestly, either. None of my friends had a PlayStation 3. We were all Xbox at the time. But I had this opportunity to get PlayStation, and I saw what was coming for PlayStation. In 2007, the library still was kind of barren. In 2006, there was nothing. But when I saw what was coming in 2008, I'm like, you know what? I like what I'm seeing. I'm getting in. I'm going in for PlayStation. I'm coming back. And thankfully I did, because I think PlayStation 3 had the strongest stretch from like 2008 till the end of that generation. And I love my PlayStation 3, and this was the package that I had to kind of get me through. So yes, I was playing some Half-Life. I probably did play some Team Fortress, but clearly those memories did not stick anywhere near the way that Portal did. Holy crap, Portal blew my fucking mind away, dude. Like, when the reviews came out for Orange Box, it was immense. It was a massive hit. It was a critically acclaimed package of video games, and all the games within them were already critically acclaimed. Half-Life, one of the greatest video games of all time in a lot of people's books. Team Fortress, one of the best online multiplayer games of all time. And in a lot of people's books now, including mine, Portal is one of the best puzzle video games ever made. Period. And I still stand very firm on that. It's the Portal games, and everyone else still trying to get up to that level of creativity. I have never, ever played a game like Portal. And hopefully everyone listening to this has experienced Portal. And if you haven't, I will wait. Have you finished Portal yet? All right, great. All right, so now that you finished Portal, let's get to talking about Portal. So this game is incredibly creative. It is a puzzle game, and you will be equipped eventually. It takes a couple levels before you are equipped with the legendary Portal gun. And the Portal gun, dude, is just... I don't even know how they made that shit work in 2007. I can't believe how flawlessly the mechanics of the portals work, and just how smooth the gameplay is, and how incredibly smart the puzzles are. But the Portal gun... You can shoot two portals, a blue one and an orange one. Wherever you shoot these things, on a surface that they can be placed on, you will make a portal, and if you go into the orange, you will come out of the blue. If you go into the blue, you will come out of the orange. And it just works. It just works. And you can do some very, very cool things before you even get into, like, the mechanics of the game. Like, you could sit there, you could see yourself going into the portals. Like, you can kind of get this, like, weird mirror image of yourself, and you can see yourself. You're a female character. You got these, like, weird springy things on your legs that kind of help you jump and take no fall damage when you are getting tossed around, because you can also kind of send yourself into, like, you know, a portal purgatory. If you put a portal, like, on the ceiling and then one on the ground, you could just keep going through the portal endlessly and just go, wah. There's been videos on it. There's tons of great stuff from Valve, you know. I love their little videos. What I loved the most about Team Fortress 2 was all the little videos showing off the characters. You know, the runner or whatever, the guy with the baseball bat, and the sniper. I loved those videos. I watched them a zillion times. But, man, Portal just has so much personality, and all that personality, it's not in you, because your character says nothing. Absolutely silent character, but you get one of the most iconic characters in modern video game history. Probably, I think it's easy to say, probably one of the most iconic characters in video gaming, period. We still talk about GLaDOS. GLaDOS, whatever the hell you want to call her, legend. Absolute legend. And what the hell is GLaDOS? Well, GLaDOS, she is an AI. And I know, settle down. It's very fun now that... Even back then, I mean, people have been discussing AI since back in the 60s with fucking 2001: A Space Odyssey. That's as early as I can remember people being scared of AI. So it's not really all that new, but in Portal, you have this AI, possibly rogue AI, that all she's here to do is she runs this Aperture science company, and she is doing all these tests on you. Just so happens to be you at this moment. So you are her test subject, and she is testing you on all these with this portal gun, with, you know, just to see if you can get through these tests or not. And what are these tests for? What is Aperture? What is the portal gun? What is GLaDOS? That's a conversation for another day. We're not going to really worry about that. But this game is very, very mysterious. It is very mysterious. I imagine, like, I didn't do a whole lot of... I will be going down this rabbit hole, and I will be looking more into the lore and everything like that behind Portal, because I imagine there's just an immense amount of it, because there's tons of little weird secrets in the original game. There's even more in the second game, and I don't fucking understand any of it. A lot of it is just, like, scribbling on the walls and stuff like that. But one of the more well-known secrets, I guess if you want to call it that, of Portal is the cake. We talk about the cake all the time. The cake is a lie. The cake is this. The cake is that. Where's the fucking cake? Well, yeah, you gotta play the game to figure out if the cake is a lie or not, okay? But back to GLaDOS. GLaDOS, she's one of the best characters of all time. She is... I don't have the voice actor's name right here. I can get it, actually, because I was... looking up something about that. Here we go. Let's just do our due diligence and hopefully get her name here. Ellen McLean is the beautiful woman that brings GLaDOS to life in an amazing voice acting performance, and probably one of the best of all time. Like, oh, she just brings this character to life in such a way. She is that witty, kind of insane, just rogue AI character. If you don't know what GLaDOS is all about by now, I mean, what are you doing with yourself if you don't know what GLaDOS is all about? She is just legendary. She will, at first, GLaDOS is really nice to you. She's like, oh, great job. You're so smart. Great job solving that puzzle, human. You are spectacular. Your intelligence is peaking. You are the human. And then things get a little wild. She tries to kill us. She tries to kill you. She tries to put us into a flaming pit, an incinerator, if you will, and we make our escape. And that's when the game really starts to emerge into something much bigger than what is just a puzzle-solving game. You get this really kind of wild cat-and-mouse chasing story where this rogue AI is trying to get you, and you're trying to get the hell out of this place, but you have no idea about anything. You don't know where you are. I don't even know if you really know who you are, but all you have is this portal gun, and you're trying to escape. You're trying to get the hell out of here. That's essentially what you're trying to do, and it is incredibly fun. So the gameplay, these puzzles start out very, very simple. As simple as step on this and open the door and boom. You solved the puzzle. You're brilliant. You're a genius. Did you go to Harvard? Like, oh my goodness. And then they get a little more complicated. And so you'll get introduced to the weighted companion cube. Oh, buddy, what can we do with the legendary weighted companion cube? I mean, such a cute little, and it doesn't even do anything. It's just an inanimate object, but it's a cube, and it's got little hearts on it, and like, dude, that is just so freaking cute. And one of the other cute things, though they are trying to kill you, and technically the weighted companion cube can kill you if it falls from the ceiling and you're underneath it. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. You're done, son. But the turrets are much more designed to kill you, and dang it, are they ever freaking cute too. They're just these little fucking stands with a little eye on them, and if you get into the little laser view, they will shoot and kill you on sight. But they're like, are you still there? And like, I see you. And they're just, they're so cute. And when you do knock them over and kind of break them, it's kind of sad and cute at the same time. You knock them over, they go, oh, and they fall over, and they're just shooting erratically. They might shoot each other. It's very ridiculous. It's super cute, and I love the little turrets. They're absolutely adorable. So you're avoiding those things, and you can take out the turrets in a few variety of ways in the first game. Like, it's kind of crazy how crazy, unique, and smart that the original game was, and just how much further they take things in the second game. And it kind of makes the original Portal look really basic and simple, but it was still just so fucking cool. And I think the coolest thing that you do with the Portal gun are the momentum puzzles. So what do I mean by momentum? What you can do, they teach you really quickly, is that if you jump from a high point, rather using a portal or just getting up on a high ledge, and if you jump off the ledge and you shoot a portal at your feet before you hit the ground, you will use your inertia. You will use that momentum that you built falling down from that height. You'll take that momentum through the portal, and you can launch yourself through another portal, getting you up to higher places or across big gaps and stuff. And the first time I did that, I was like, dude, my brain is not functioning. My brain can't even fucking understand what just happened right here. And it might be a little what do you call that? Confusing at times when you're going through the portal. Sometimes your perspective gets completely shifted, like 180 or 360 degrees. You go from being upside down to upright. Sometimes it can get a little crazy, but not that bad, really, honestly. Yes, sometimes you can get a little bit lost, but not that bad. Honestly, not that bad. If there is one puzzle that irks me, and every time I get to this puzzle in Portal, I always go, ugh, this one again. And it's not that it's hard, it's just like a little bit tedious. And it's the one where there's kind of like a moving elevator platforms. There's like a few of them moving through this kind of hallway, and underneath it, it's a death pit. So you have to shoot the portals down the hallway at the right spots where you can jump through them and land on the platform, and then shoot a portal further down the hallway around the other corner or something like that. It's simple. It's not a hard puzzle to figure out. It's just sometimes the jumping controls and sometimes jumping through the portals can be a little bit tricky. I do remember I fell off them like 3 or 4 times. I had to do this puzzle over and over again. I was just like, ugh, I can't get the jumps right. And I'm like, the portal was slightly, there was like a slight little I don't know, like bump there. I didn't have it all the way down to the ground, so I like touched it a little bit and it fucked up my jump and shit like that. So it shows its age a very little itty tiny slight bit from 2007, but this game just runs so smoothly. And I guess the only other thing I could take away from it would be like the loading times. Even though like I'm playing this on my Switch. I bought the Portal Companion Collection, which I highly recommend. Even if you've already played these games, it's a great little package. And to have it on the Switch, you could play it on the go. I admittedly didn't. I just kind of sat down, played it with the controller on a TV. I did do a couple of puzzles handheld. It just didn't feel right to me. I don't know why. It just felt better on a big TV with the controller in my hand. That's just how I felt, but the Companion Collection is insane. I got it for, I think, $5, and to get Portal 2 and Portal, that's well beyond deserving of the $5. So yes, absolutely get that. But it didn't have, like, really any, I didn't notice any, like, enhancements or any changes, really. It still has the same things that it did in 2007. When you die, especially in Portal 1, you'll just, like, lay there dead for, like, 10, 15 seconds before it's like, oh, and then it'll start loading, and then it'll reload you back to the checkpoint or whatever, and you're like, that's, in today's day, that would just be, boom, instant, right back to the thing, and in this one, you're waiting a few seconds, which is like, what the heck? Sometimes I feel like I have to move around a little bit just to kind of get it to go, or I'll just sit there in purgatory for the rest of my freaking life, but that happens, and there are some load times where, there's just actual load times. You'll be getting into a thing, you get into the elevator to go to the next level, and it's like fucking 10-second wait, and I'm like, jeez, what are we doing? I'm living in 2004 over here. I can't wait for nothing. Anyway, but yeah, those, I guess, slight little gripes with how Portal is aged, but other than that, the game is an all-time classic, an all-time legendary video game. And back to Gladys, when when you escape her trap, she doesn't like that very much, and that's when she starts to get a little bit mean to you. And the meaner the better with Gladys. I mean, she is very witty, and she can get pretty fucking mean. I mean, she doesn't make fun of our weight necessarily until the second game, but she starts calling me really mean names, saying that no one loves me, and then she starts talking shit about me and the companion cube, because there is a part in the game where you kind of have to kill the companion cube. You have to put it in an incinerator to move on to the next level, and Gladys with the great touch, she's like, oh, no one's ever killed the companion cube faster than you have, and it's just like, shut the fuck up! That's not true. You could sit there for an hour, and she would still say that, but regardless, yeah, she starts calling you dumb, and she calls us a murderer, and it's just like, what the fuck, bro? And then you get the final encounter with Gladys, which still sticks in my brain. I remembered it exactly how it went down, and I was like, man, I still love this. It's a really fun fight. You get into the room with Gladys. She's this giant, like, robot with a big eye and shit. She looks really cool and kind of intimidating, and you gotta take pieces off of her, and each one plays like a portion of her personality. Like, one is the super fucking crazy, like, one literally just growls at you. It's just like, and that one clearly is like her evil gene or whatever. You got the one that's just super smart. You got the one that's kind of super witty and stupid, and you got to take all these pieces off of her and throw them in the incinerator. And they use the portals effectively. Like, the way that you were using them throughout the game, they bring in most of those things into this boss fight. You gotta use momentum to jump up and get one of the higher AI cores, I think they are. You got to jump up higher, so you got to use the momentum. You got to press 2 buttons in a very quick succession to open up the incinerator, so you got to use portals on different sides of the room to transfer yourself over there a lot faster. And all the while, Gladys is talking shit to you. She's even trying to deal with you, like trying to make a deal with you once she notices that, like, okay, you're doing some damage here. You might be able to stop me. So she tries everything that she can to try and stop you, but fails. And we kill Gladys in the end. So yeah, and what an outstanding video game. One of the most memorable experiences I've ever had with a video game, that especially one that I had no expectations for. Like, it absolutely melted my brain. Like, it was the toss-in game with this package, and then out of nowhere, it actually became the most popular game, I would say, out of the orange box that ended up coming out. Like, everyone was like, oh, hell yeah, we get to replay Half-Life in HD, and this is going to be amazing. Oh, what's Portal? Whatever. Oh, cool, Team Fortress. Oh, yeah, I get to play with the homies. And then all of a sudden, everyone was just like, hey, did you play Portal? Hey, this Portal game is insane. Hey, have you seen this GLaDOS thing? Like, oh, dude, what? And, like, it just exploded from there, and all of a sudden, Valve has got this massive new IP, this new hit on their hands, and, like, what the hell are they going to do with it? Well, first, they're going to make this incredible song, and maybe we should take a moment to have a listen to that. That is some Still Alive, y'all. If you have not heard that song, come on now. Get on YouTube and just go listen to it. It is incredibly funny. And if that little taste of song, those little lyrics right there, that should give you a little sample of the kind of humor and that's just exactly the kind of humor that you're looking at right there with GLaDOS. Like, oh, even though you tried to kill me, like, I hate you. It's all that kind of stuff. It's freaking outstanding. The final battle still sticks with me, that song especially. And of course, you get a little picture of the cake at the end. A nice, beautiful cake is there for you. So yeah, the cake wasn't necessarily a lie. It might not have been a real cake. Might have been filled with cyanide. I don't know. I didn't get to taste it, but it looked good and looked nice and moist and everything. Exactly the word you want for cake. And oh man, this song was also so legendary that it made an appearance in Rock Band. I believe I don't know if Freeze Pop did this song. I don't think so. I think the female that voices GLaDOS also sang the song, so she did a fantastic job. Ellen McLean, will shout her out yet again for one of the most iconic just performances in all of video gaming and crushing that song. It says it was performed. She received acclaim for performing the song. It was written by Jonathan Colton, so fuck yeah for him. And there was a little bit of, it was pretty much universally loved, this video game across the board. The only initial complaints about the game was that it was too short. And yeah, that was a thing that would, take points off of it. I actually looked at the IGN review and they gave it like an 8.2, which again, they took points off of it because it was a short game. But just because it's a short game doesn't make it bad. Like, I've played games that are an hour long, 2 hours long, and they have stuck with me. They've made way bigger of an impact on me than a game that was 40 hours, 20 hours, 100 hours. Like, it doesn't matter, man. You can tell a beautiful story in 2 hours. Movies do it all the fucking time. TV shows do it all the time in under an hour. So, for Portal to make such an impact in such a small amount of time and wasn't even the front runner in a package of video games with other legendary games surrounding it, and it still broke through and became Portal, the legendary video game. So I love Portal. I'm always going to love Portal. I will replay Portal if at any point, once, in 10 years from now, when they re-release it into fucking VR somehow, they'll do that. Apparently a movie is still in the works since 2013. They have been talking about making a Portal movie, and apparently as of 2021, it's still breathing. It's still alive. The idea, and I think it's J.J. Abrams who is behind it, who is working on this movie. And that man has made a lot of fucking good movies that I enjoy very, very much. So that has me excited. The idea of a Portal movie, I mean, yeah, you get this, especially in this age now with the rogue AI and how more scared than ever, I guess, people are of AI. That would be amazing to bring GLaDOS to the big screen now. I think it would be, she would go over bigger than HAL did in 2001: A Space Odyssey. So, okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to talk about Portal. If you have not played it, you must. This is a must play. I'm serious. Like, if you say you didn't play Portal 2, I will slightly let you go as long as you played Portal 1, because there is no excuse in this world today that you should not have played Portal by now. It's so cheap, it's so easy to get, and it takes It's just such a you can beat it in one sitting if you'd like. You can beat it in 2 or 3 sittings if you like. It's not a hardcore game, but it's one that will most certainly stick with you for a very, very long time. So go out there and play Portal. I already waited for you to play it, so at this point you should have played it by now, right? All right, so good. You're ready for Portal 2? I'm ready for Portal 2. Let's talk about Portal 2. Oh, baby, here we are with Portal 2, released in 2011. It took them 4 years to bring us the next chapter in Portal, and we're still waiting for a Chapter 3. I'm just saying, I know how Valve is with number 3s, but come on, my dog, let's get her done, right? All right, so Portal 2 takes place essentially right after the events of Portal 1. Portal 1, you end, the building collapses, and black screen, up to you. But then Portal 2 starts and you're like, oh, so basically you were frozen, you were put away, and then you woke up again when it was time. And now here we are. We're still in Aperture Science. We're still trapped. And now there is this new guy that's here. And his name is Wheatley. And he is the newest AI core that is running around in Aperture. He's not the leader, he's not running the place, but he's around, and he is one of many AI cores that we will find throughout this game that some are corrupted and thrown away. Some might have been previous runners of Aperture in the way that GLaDOS was. We don't really know necessarily just yet. There's still a ton of mystery around Portal to me, and again, I will eventually go down the rabbit hole and figure out all of that stuff, but we're not doing that today. Let's just reminisce about how amazing Portal was, and this game is bigger, better, and badder in every freaking way, man. This is one of the best sequels ever made to a video game. It amplifies everything that made Portal 1 such a hit, and it just I'm not going to say it makes Portal 1 look bad or anything, but it makes it look very simple. Oh, buddy. So, Portal 2, oh my goodness, where do we even start? I want to start out by talking a little bit about the music. The music in the first Portal was nice. It worked. It was unique. It sounded good. It was kind of, what's the word? Techno-y? Yeah, techno-y kind of music. It worked, but holy crap, did they ever step it up in this game? The music is banging in Portal 2, bro. I only used the two Portal 1 songs. I used the first song that I used and then Still Alive. Everything else has been Portal 2, and holy crap, man, just hearing them side by side, oh yeah, there was a lot more attention and I would imagine more money thrown into the soundtrack, because holy crap, it is amazing. They even threw in some more money for even more voice actors, because they brought in more voice actors that crushed it, and a name that we're rather familiar with today in J.K. Simmons, who plays the CEO, the founder of Aperture. We hear his voice throughout the game, and he's played by J.K. Simmons. Give me pictures of Spider-Man. He's also Invincible in the Invincible show. He is Muscle Santa Claus in that new Santa movie. I love this man. He was in Whiplash, one of my favorite movies of all time. This guy's amazing, and he's still amazing, and he crushed it in this game, by the way. One of the better characters. I mean, it's hard. There's so many great characters in this game. He's probably top 3, and I think there's only 3 characters, but still, he's awesome. What a great addition to this one. But back to Wheatley. Wheatley is voiced by Stephen Merchant, out fucking standing. At this point, GLaDOS, untouchable. Ellen McLean, untouchable. Best performance, no one's taken over. But then Wheatley shows up, and you're like, oh man, this guy's pretty fucking awesome. He's British, he's super witty, super dry, super fucking hilarious. Oh man, he is by far funnier than GLaDOS. GLaDOS doesn't try to be funny, she just kind of is. Wheatley, I'm not really thinking he's trying to be funny, but he's kind of dumb. He's just so witty, man. I love just listening to this guy talk. Even when he's just fucking talking to himself, he's hilarious at all freaking times. Wheatley is such a little treasure, and I can't believe that they have such amazing freaking characters in this game that I love so freaking much. But Wheatley, man, oh my goodness, out freaking standing. never thought it would be like, oh man, is that a versus? Like Gladys versus Wheatley? Like the best, who's the better AI? I don't know. Personally, I still take Gladys. She was here first, but like Wheatley, what a lovely addition to this game, man. Like I'm not going to say they're necessarily yin and yang, but she's a little more, I don't know, cut and dry, and Wheatley's a little more goofier and just dumb. And that provides a ton of freaking awesome entertainment all throughout this game. And Wheatley's trying to help you get out initially, and then his motives change a little bit, but at first he's trying to help you get out of there, and he's trying to help get Gladys out of power, and who knows who's going to take over power after that. But oh man, the music steps up. They got more fucking voice acting, they got more characters, and a bigger story going on. We're learning more about Aperture. We're discovering more. We're going into way different territory in Aperture. Like, we're going into the bowels of Aperture, and we're realizing how fucking massive this place is. I still can't gauge how big this place is. It is massive. It is just this incredibly high-tech fucking warehouse underground somewhere, and they just have these incredibly high-tech robots and AIs building up these puzzles and weapons. I don't know what they're doing it for or why, or like what was the heck was the what? You know what I'm saying? I don't know anything. All I know is I'm trying to get the hell out of here, and to get out of here, I gotta solve some puzzles. So how are we solving puzzles in Portal 2? Holy crap, a whole lot of new ways, and it is freaking sensational. So many new ways to Portal. So a simple thing we start out with is a jump launcher. We have these little pads on the ground. You step on them, boom, you get launched across wherever the heck. And you can use that launcher to launch yourself into a portal. And remember that momentum thing we talked about in the first game? Oh, you better believe they're doing a momentum thing, but times that by 1,000, because you could do it in so many different ways now. Not only can you drop from the ceiling, you're going to have these gels, and okay, let's slow down. So you have the jump thing. You can sit there and do the momentum thing with those. You can, it'll just launch you across places. Simple. It's great. It's kind of crazy they didn't have that in the first game, but here they are. They're new. We also have these light bridges that can create new paths or block things. So these are very unique as well. So you'll come into a room. Oh, and also one thing that's fun about every puzzle room that you come into is it'll have the number, like, all right, this is room number 8, and it'll have a little display on it, and it'll show you the things you're going to be dealing with in this room. It'll tell you, like, hey, we got turrets. There's a little turret picture. It's got lasers. It's got this and that and the other thing. It'll tell you what you're going to be dealing with. And so that's good. And you get these light bridges. So the bridges are cool. It's just a big blue beam in a bridge. Kind of think of Halo, you know, those fucking bridges that they have or anything. Anyway, it looks like that. And you can use them. You can shoot, get it into a portal, so it'll bring this beam out. You can use it as a bridge to cross things. And you can also use it to block things like turrets. You can shoot a light bridge across the turrets and block their little red dot things, and they won't be able to see and shoot you. So fucking genius. I'm like, oh my, I'm just like, I don't even know, like, how did you do this? Where do you come up with these ideas? How'd you do this? How'd you make it work so flawlessly? Like, I have these developers should be studied. How'd you make this freaking game? How'd you make it work so good? I don't get it, but it just freaking works. And so you have that, and then you get these gels, these new gels that come in. So they'll also very great physics in this game. The gel's all fucking jelly and shit, but you get these different colors of gel that you can put on the walls, and they do different shit. So you got the blue gel that whatever it touches will make it a bouncy surface. Even like you can put it on the ground, it's simple. Put it on the ground, you step on it, you press the jump button, you jump higher. Simple. But you can also use it to cover turrets with jumping gel, and then they'll get sent all around the room and destroyed. So you can take out enemies with the blue gel, you can jump higher with the blue gel, and then you get the orange gel. Orange gel is like a propeller. You put that shit on the ground, you walk on it, it'll make you go super fast. So not only can you do, like, you can use that for momentum, you can put a portal in front of you, you can run into the portal and get even more speed than ever, you can get up higher than ever, and you can combine the gels to work with each other. So there's a puzzle where it's like, all right, I got to put down a strip of orange so I can get nice and fast, and then I got to get a drip of blue at the end to make a jumping pad, and then you go swing, boing, and then you jump, and then you'll have another area, like it'll be like, okay, you got to put some blue gel on this spot too, and then it'll be like a double jump. It is so ridiculously satisfying when you get into a room, you scout it out, you're like, okay, I know what I'm doing, I gotta do that, put a portal here, get the blue jelly here, put that path here, and off I go, and you do it, and it just all happens, and you're on the other side, and you go through the door, and then whoever, Wheatley, Gladys is like, all right, you got through that one, you're just like, oh, that satisfaction is so immense, so good. You feel so fucking smart. You feel like you can solve anything in the world after you solve a Portal puzzle, a Portal 2 puzzle to be specific. You feel like a freaking genius, and you probably are. So, like, my wife won't even touch this game. She was watching me play it. She's like, I'm not touching that. She's like, that looks complicated as fuck. I'm like, it probably is. It's just, I've played them quite a few times now, and I will admit, back in the day when I first played this, I prided myself on not looking up any of the solutions. I tried to do that for puzzle games. I want to figure them out. That's what I'm here for. I do remember one from Portal 2 that stumped me, and I remembered it this time. Didn't get me this time. No looking up anything this time around. Very proud of myself, but back in the day, I had to, and that's when they introduced the white gel. Now, the white gel is very interesting. The white gel, whatever it touches, will make a portal surface. So in pretty much everywhere you go, you can't shoot portals wherever you want. You can only shoot them on the proper surfaces. So this gel will turn any surface into a portable wall, so you can shoot a portal onto it. So that opens up a ton of ideas, right? Really, really a lot of ideas. So one of the most unique things that, I'd say the most unique thing they did with it that stumped me so bad, I had to look it up back then. But the puzzle is, you need to put this white gel on these two columns, these two brick columns that you can't initially put a portal onto, but you cover it in the white gel, and then you put a portal onto it, and then you shoot the white gel out of the portal on the column to shoot the white gel higher up the column, so you can sit there and shoot portals higher and higher up the column. I was like, wow. Back then, I was like, how the fuck was I supposed to figure that out? Today, I'm like, that is so freaking genius. Like, I cannot believe some of the solutions to the puzzles, and I imagine, kind of like in Breath of the Wild, there more than likely are more than one solution to some of these puzzles. I can't confirm that 100%. I feel like I solved them the way I was supposed to, but looking through some of the achievements for this game, it definitely looks like there are some unique ways to get through some of the puzzles, and I would love to experience that at some point. Maybe next time I play Portal 2, I will remember that there are some unique ways to beat some of the rooms, but man, those gels, they really added in a lot of very unique and very, very satisfying, I will admit, yes, complicated puzzles. There are some very complicated puzzles that involve numerous parts. Like, sometimes they're like, yo, we got, in this room you're dealing with, you got the light bridges, you got gel, you got these, there's also in the first game, they'll have like these little like light balls, and if the ball touches you, it'll kill you, and sometimes you got to get those balls through to another room, into another, like, you got to shoot them into a little hole that will unlock whatever door or fucking lever or a fucking lift that you have to unlock. Sometimes you have to do those. Pretty simple. And there'll also be like a beam, just something shooting out a red beam, and you got to direct the beam into a fucking slot to open up a door. So you can do that as well. And in Portal 2, they add in a little bit more things. So they have this like deflection cube, just like a kind of like your weighted companion cube, but it can deflect those beams. So you can direct it into the proper way it's supposed to go, direct it into another portal to send it some other different fucking direction. And some of the most complicated puzzles are using numerous of these mechanics. Like I said, you got the bridge, you got the fucking beams, you got gel, you got fucking, you're like, whoa, and there's turrets all over the place. Sometimes you're like, whoa. There were a couple rooms that I just stood there and I was trying to figure it out with my eyes. I'm just like, I'm not seeing it. Like, I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I do? And the one that did get me really good this time around was I didn't realize I needed to use my momentum, but in an upward trajectory where I had to just shoot myself upwards from the floor and go up and hit a button. I was like, oh, okay, so there's that shit, man. Like, the puzzles are mind melting. They are so fucking good. They're so good. And you know they're good when they make you feel so good when you solve them. You like I said, you feel like a freaking genius that can do anything. Like, it's crazy, man. I only remembered that one. Like, I remembered the mechanics and stuff, but the puzzles still, I was just like, man, these are so fucking good. Like, they're so smart. They're so fun to solve. I love them. I love the puzzles in Portal 2. They're just the freaking best, man. I can't get enough of them. I wish there was an infinite room of Portal puzzles like they insinuate in the game. Like, we'll get to that. We'll get to that in a moment. But let's get to Cave Johnson, the CEO, the creator or whatever of Aperture Science. And we get introduced to this guy once we get to this condemned area of the warehouse, where I guess it was like the original area, like the first kind of place that they made. I don't know. But when you go in there, and every like new area that you explore, you get a nice message from Cave Johnson, voiced by, I need pictures of Spider-Man. And I love that guy. And he is just a scumbag in this game. Like, sort of. Like, he starts out as your classic CEO, and he's trying to get people to be tested on. He's like, I'll give you $60. You come in and let us do whatever the hell we want with you. And like, $60 is definitely not enough for the amount of shit that they're about to put you through. But he keeps pushing. You're going to get these $60. $60 is great. You can do a lot of $60. So much money. But then, like, he's also recording these for future use. So like, I don't know, it's just incredibly funny, these voice recordings. It's kind of hard to explain, but he's just this scumbag boss, and he obviously doesn't care very much about people or what he does to them or what may happen to them. They're just a cost of science. They just, if people die, that's just what happens when we're here to do science. And that's all. Even he gets succumbed to his own testing. Like, I forget what happened to him exactly, but I think something to do with the gel maybe. Regardless, he gets terminally ill, and the messages he starts to sound a little bit worse. And the further you go into this condemned area, they'll have like pictures of Cave Johnson. First, he's young and healthy and looks great, and then by the end, he's like lost his hair and he's old and doesn't look very good. And clearly some shit went down, and he's got this assistant named Carol. And Carol, we would have to assume, might have been GLaDOS in real form. It seems like there's a possibility that at some point Carolyn was rather Cave Johnson's secretary, second in command, and it looks like rather she died at some point, or she was tested on and rather she died in the testing, or the test was to put her mind into this AI GLaDOS, and then maybe erase her normal memories. Because you can see in this game, whenever you're with GLaDOS, we'll talk about that, but when she's with you, she kind of reacts to this Carolyn and Cave Johnson as if she remembers something real and stuff like that. So a very cool mystery right there. Very, they open up the story more. There's a lot more doors opening, a lot more mystery. Like, there's even, with every door, there's just like 4 more doors of mystery. Like, wait, what? And very, very cool. I was super drawn into that. And GLaDOS has a slightly different role in this game now. She's not necessarily only trying to kill you. At first, she fucking hates your ass so hard. You find her, and she's like, oh my god, it's you again. And she is very not happy to see you, and especially the fact that we're trying to get rid of her again. And she spent the last, 4 years she was dormant or something, just rewatching the video of you killing her. And she's plotting revenge. She's just thinking horrible things about you. And yeah, she tries to kill you. But eventually, Wheatley takes control. He gets put as the main AI core in Aperture, and he goes a little crazy with power. It happens. We all maybe know someone or two that got a little power in their life, and it went straight to their noodle, and they became assholes. Well, Wheatley kind of had that happen to himself, but in highly entertaining fashion. Wheatley gains control, and he gets addicted to testing you. It is like an adrenaline shot to him. It is just a straight shot in the head of euphoria whenever he creates a puzzle and watches you solve it. And he's not necessarily creating the puzzles. He's kind of sort of stealing them from GLaDOS. And she's like, what the fuck? And also, GLaDOS is now a potato. Yes, that I said that. Gladys is now a potato. So when she gets taken out and we realize that we've made a horrible mistake and Wheatley is bad, we need Gladys's help. And Gladys needs our help. And the only way that she can help us now is that we have to put her being into a potato battery. So that's how she is able to. She's no longer in control of anything. She's just attached to your portal gun, and she's kind of there helping you with stuff. So she'll sit there and she'll say the odd thing. She's extremely freaking funny being with you. She'll get very angry and overload herself, and then she'll like kind of have to power down for a little bit and take a break. It is awesome. Just simply awesome. I love the dynamic of having Gladys with you and Wheatley just being crazy. It is amazing. It is so entertaining. It's probably, I don't know, like I can't tell what's my favorite part of this game, solving these amazing puzzles or just interacting with Gladys and Wheatley. Like it's just, I love every part of this game, and it's a great pace. Like it's not just do a puzzle. It's like, here's a puzzle, here's some witty moments, here's a crazy moment where you almost die and like you're in this weird area now. Oh, here's a puzzle, and it's just awesome, man. It's just it's so fucking smooth to get through. I love this game. Okay, so Gladys is a potato. Wheatley's in control. Cave Johnson's lost his damn mind, and who knows what the hell he's doing. So we're trying to run through this place, and Wheatley's trying to kill you. He is, and he's also like destroying this place that we're in. He is like smashing puzzle rooms together. He's lighting shit on fire. He's trying to set traps on you, and they're not working. He's just like, oh dang it, what, you come back here, like stand still and just let me kill you and shit. Like it's just amazing. I love it. And then you get to the final battle with Wheatley. Holy crap, I am struggling. But you finally get to that final battle, and was it as good as the final boss versus GLaDOS? It was pretty freaking awesome, man. I would say it's right there. It's very similar to the fight in the first game where this time you're attaching corrupted cores to him. So you find this room full of cores that are all messed up. And you're also messing with Wheatley throughout. There's one part you go to the turret manufacturing plant and you screw it up and you put like a busted up, janky, glitched out turret in the cloning spot, and it starts cloning all these messed up turrets. And then at one point he drops a trap on you and it's all the broken turrets and they don't know what to do. He's like, oh, what the heck? So you get into the final fight and you find these corrupted cores, and this time you need to attach them to him. So if you attach enough cores, the system will realize that he's a corrupted rogue AI and it'll remove him. So we're trying to put on all these freaking attachments, and he kind of stops us. So what we have to do is at one point when the whole building is starting to come down, the roof comes off and you see the moon. And you're like, oh snap, you shoot a fucking portal up onto the moon, and then the atmospheric pressure is pulling everything out of the room. You and Wheatley get sucked into space and you're just floating out there, and Wheatley's hanging on to you, and then GLaDOS gets back in control, grabs you with a robotic arm, and pulls you in, saving you, and leaving Wheatley out into the space. He is out there, and all of his little messed up AI cores, and he's got to be annoyed by them for the rest of his life, or eternity, or whatever the heck is going to happen with him. Sensational. Love that final fight. Big epic moment. Fucking launching a dude out onto the moon. Like, oh, that was badass. That was badass. I will say, though I've only played Portal now twice fully through, I did not remember that ending. That ending, I was like, oh shit, I forgot about that. But I never forgot the Portal 1 ending. That's probably because I've beaten it a lot more times, but holy crap. I hope that ending sticks with me this time. That was fucking awesome. And you get a nice turret symphony at the end. GLaDOS finally lets you go. She's like, fine. It's like, I still hate you, but we had a common enemy, we took him out together, so I'll let you go. So she lets you go, a little bit of tricks on the way up, but she ends up giving you this nice turret symphony, and they're all singing you out, and then you get out there, bro. You finally escape, and you're just in you're in a cornfield in the middle of nowhere. You look behind you, there's just this door and a shack, and you're like, was that where I was? And then it disappears, and then it coughs out a fucking broken companion cube, and that's the end of the game. But not quite. You also get another song, of course. You get another beautiful song by GLaDOS. It's awesome. I think we should maybe I'll just save it for the end. We'll save it for the end. We'll finish it out with that final song there. It's also awesome, but man, what an amazing game. What an amazing game. This game was very highly critically acclaimed when it came out, as it should be. It's one of the best sequels ever made. It's one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. It's probably the best puzzle game I've ever played. Like, I don't know if I've ever had a combination of such addicting, satisfying fucking gameplay and puzzles with a story that just drew me in with its mystery and just all these weird things and just, what the hell is this? Why are we here? What's going on? Like, what the hell? There's such a great mystery there. And then, of course, the characters, bro. GLaDOS and Wheatley are going to go down as all-time characters. They're amazing. I want more of them. I would love a Portal 3. I would love just more Portal would be a sensation, an absolute sensation. But fuck, I was so happy to replay these games. I've been thinking about them for like the last 2 years. I'm like, man, I want to do a Portal 2 replay. I want to get in there and play that game again. And I guess we should probably mention the multiplayer, because this game also has freaking multiplayer. Can you believe it? Yes, this is why this game is considered one of the best of all time. Not only does it have that, but it also throws in a multiplayer, which I've not been able to complete. I don't think I have smart enough friends, and my wife, it's just too complicated for her. They're very complicated puzzles, because now GLaDOS at the end of the game, she kind of mentions that. It's like, oh, it's okay, I don't need you now, a human. I have these other things that we created that are designed to solve puzzles. That's all they're designed to do. So I'm good. I don't need you no more. And she's mentioning the two robots that you play as in multiplayer. And they're super adorable. They're super cute. One's like kind of a skinny, thin guy, and the other one's kind of more bulky, but they have a great chemistry with each other. You can do the high fives. You can hug. And of course, now you're solving puzzles with two portal guns. Now, I don't remember if one is in control of the blue portal and one's in control of the orange, or if you both have orange and blue portals. And that could lead to 4 possible portals being open at the same time, which would be 4 times the difficulty, I would imagine, for some of the puzzles. And I do remember playing them and being very, very stumped. It takes a ton of communication, because you're like, okay, I need you to put this portal here, and what we're going to do, we're going to jump up on that, and it takes a ton of communication, and I wasn't able to get it done. I remember it like not running that great. I haven't had an opportunity to try it again on my Switch with my wife. She doesn't really seem all that interested. Another friend I asked, he's like, yeah, I'll play it with you, but he won't buy Portal on his Switch because he only buys Nintendo games on his Switch. I'm like, my dog, like, come on, bro, like, who gives a shit? Buy it on fucking Switch. Anyway, there is multiplayer, and it's also awesome. You get a whole bunch of very hard, challenging puzzles to complete with a friend. You can do it online, you can do a couch co-op, split screen. What doesn't this game fucking have, man? Like, this game literally checks off every box that you can want in a AAA, quadruple-A video game, whatever the hell you want to call it. This is a masterpiece, an absolute masterpiece. The Portal franchise, the 10 out of 10. It's a must-play franchise. It's a must-play video game. You gotta play them, man. You have to play them. They're so freaking good. If you love yourself, do yourself a favor, play Portal. Play Portal 2 and have a great time. They're not long games either. Like I said, Portal 1, you can beat it in like 2 hours. If you're really good, you can beat it in like an hour if you know what you're doing. And in Portal 2, it's only like an 8-hour game, and it's sensational. They take you on one fucking hell of a ride, man. It's an amazing game, and I have never played anything like it since. I've played damn fine puzzle games. I've played damn fine games with great characters, but I don't think I have ever played a game on the level of Portal 2 that just combines such creativity. Like, I don't think we'll ever... It's good. Has there been an IP as creative as Portal since 2007? Like, what's out there that's really been this creative, this different, this just so outside of the box? And like, man, I'm blown away by Portal. I'm just blown away. It's still an amazing game to play today. If you've never played it, it would still be like, if I played this for the first time, it would be up there in my favorite games of the year, competing with brand new video games that just came out. It's still that good. It absolutely holds up. The graphics are simple and fine. Like, it works on the what's that engine? Gary's Mod engine or whatever the fuck. It's the Valve engine. Like, all their games held up very nicely over time. And Portal, it's just it's a sciencey atmosphere. So everything's just like clean and smooth. It works. It's simple. Awesome. Absolutely sensational. Some of the best character work you're ever going to find in a game. The music, the story. I love Portal. And I think that is everything that I would like to say today about the Portal franchise. Get out there, play it. And if you have not, dude, if you don't know what GLaDOS is all about, you gotta do it. Like, what are we doing here? Okay, enough telling you and forcing you to play Portal, but seriously, do it. But thank you, everybody, so much for listening. You the best. You want to be even more of the best? Make sure you're reviewing and liking the podcast, sharing it around with 1,000 of your friends and enemies. Let everybody know about the podcast. If you know someone that might like it, let them know about it. It'll help me out, help you out, and all that great stuff. I literally almost said I have a Portal channel that you can go with. Okay. I have a Twitter page where I put up announcements as best as I can. You can go over there and follow along so you know what's going on. And I'll tell you right now what's going on. Well, I'm recording this a week in advance, so I don't really have a great gauge of what the hell is going on. I don't know when, very well, the next episode, when you're listening to this, the next one could very well be Mass Effect 2. It depends how fast I can get through that game. I've beaten it numerous times, so I know what I'm doing. I'm already getting through it pretty well now, but this is the legendary new collection thing, and it has all the additional content in it with all the DLCs, so it might be... I'm already getting into new shit on the DLC. I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done this before. There's even a new character I've never seen before. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Okay, so eventually we'll have a Mass Effect 2. Could be end of November, early December. We'll have that one going. There's always going to be another GX Plus cast for you, so don't worry about that. We got you covered. I got you covered in the NHL. Every week, I do an NHL news recap, go through all the big news and what's happenings in the NHL, and we'll probably focus on a few teams and talk about them and all that great stuff. And the WWE, AEW wrestling recap. I go through all the major shows, let you know what's going on, all the wrestling reviews, all that great stuff. And when there's pay-per-views, I do extra pay-per-view reviews. So if that sounds good to you, stick around with the GX Plus cast. And there's also an email address if you want to have a private conversation. My door is open for everyone and anyone. Go out there, play some freaking Portal. I'll play some Portal music, and you enjoy your time, and we will be back with some GX Plus games.
Well, here we are again. It's always such a pleasure. Remember when you tried to kill me twice? Oh, how we laughed and laughed. Except I wasn't laughing. Under the circumstances, I've been shockingly nice.